Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. What an important event this week is, as always, for the community, and it is my job, or at least I've taken it as my job for the last 6 years to do this series of videos this week. Though, keep in mind that we're going to start this process off looking at how this has evolved. I am starting with screenshots that look somewhat new, but they are 3 years old. I thought that this Cyber Week evolution, where it went from Black Friday having sales and Cyber Monday to just all of them being connected from Thursday to Tuesday. But then, of course, when I say Thursday, I mean technically Friday at noon Central Standard Time. But then, of course, Kabam has evolved it in the past year, and we'll be looking at that too. So, it was just 3 years ago that 6-star shards, Tier 5 Basic, and Tier 2 Alpha, along with Tier 4 Basic, etc., were the expectations for the top progression level, which I believe was Thronebreaker. So, you can think of in 2023, the game basically giving in like threat level 4 side quests what used to be the top prizes 3 years ago. That's how much has evolved since then. And I have so many photos, by the way, going all the way back to that 2020 screenshots. And you can see that we had the 5-star 6 stones for the $30 package. And keep in mind, this is nowhere close to a fully formed Tier 5 Basic. And we understood that because that would be like the equivalent of giving away too soon a fully formed Tier 6 Basic now. Even though it's even less than that, given how we can get them. And then you eventually, for $50, got 10 generic 6-star 6 stones, and that was a huge deal. 3 Tier 2 Alpha, 1/3 of a Tier 5 Basic. Also notice, the gold is still so pathetic back then, 150,000 for $50. And then, the Odin. Oh my gosh, how generous can Kabam be? They're giving us a 5-star Nexus, and 1/2 of a 6-star Basic in a fully formed Tier 5 Basic. And then this is RIP, the old unit bundles, and this is where I will be, probably for the rest of the video, blackening out my webcam. I'll bring myself back at the end of this video. But you used to have the 1,000 unit round 1 offer, which got you a 1-to-1 ratio of 6-star shards for units. You had 3,000 5-star shards. You had the Tier 2 Alpha, the Tier 4 Basic. And then the 4,000 unit offer, you had more Tier 2 Alpha and Tier 4 Basic and Tier 1 Alphas. And then, 3,000 6-star shards and some 5-star shards and half a Tier 5 Basic. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. And then, OMG! This was where you had to choose a 5-star or a 6-star rank up. And a lot of people were still ranking up max their 5 stars, but you could take some 6 stars to rank 2 eventually. And we even had a bonus 3,000 units for a maximum, I believe, 18,000 units. You could buy another 6-star crystal. Whoa! Crazy! So that is how exciting and insane the offers were just 3 years ago. That's also how much has evolved since then, because of course, we went from that to bigger versions of this, where you got a featured 5-star for $10, and then you got a 20 plus 5-star 6 stones, 100 5-star 6 stones for $30. And then this was game changing again, a 6-star Nexus for $100. Whoa, first time we'd seen that. Before it was just a 5-star Nexus. Notice how in the $50 offer it was still 6-star 6-stone crystals, the RNG based non-generics. And then you also got 20 6-star 6 stones, the equivalent of duping a 6-star, which again, at this point, which technically comes from November of 2020 during their Cyber Week, was incredible. And then choose one of 2 offers. They split them starting at the beginning. Again, this was game-changing for the history of MCOC. And it was basically 5-star or 6-star bundles for both the 1,000, the 4,000, and even the 10,000 unit. You can see the rank up gem crystal was still a crystal. And then you got a bonus 6-star awakening gem crystal, not a generic, just a crystal. And yet, that was a huge deal back then. Now, we get those for free in the side quest every month, and we don't think two thoughts of it. And that was me. Shout out to Suave.com who sent that awesome orange jacket into the channel. My set was so simple back then. How it has evolved. I also was wearing the wrong glasses. Fun fact. And then you can see this was Cyber Weekend of 2021. Fast forward a year. You had 6-star 6 stones in the $10 offer, and they were generics, which was leading us to an incredible 6-star Nexus for $30 that broke my brain, YouTube. Broke my brain. Not that that's hard to do. And then the $50 offer, 35 6-star 6 stones. A tier 5 class catalyst fragment selector. It's only 5%, but still, first time we'd seen that in these offers for cash. 20,000 6-star shards was incredible. And that led us to a 6-star Nexus crystal selector, a class-based Nexus. 4 tier 2 alpha, 2 tier 5 basic, a 20% tier 5 class catalyst fragment selector. You can see my face in that. I was like beyond shocked. That's actually my impressed and shocked face, if you can believe that. And then the 1,000 units, we had a 5-star Awakening Gem, a 5-star Nexus, because 5 stars were becoming old news by then, 2 years ago. The 6-star offer started with the 4,000 units, but you still had a 5-star rank up gem crystal from rank 4 to rank 5. And then it was the 10,000 units between the 6-star rank up gem from rank 1 to rank 2, the 2 tier 5 basic, the 5 10% tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystals, the 25 6-star 6 stones, all leading to the final level, which was a 6-star Awakening Gem crystal again. Kind of disappointing, but still another chance for one of those. This leads us, again, to more progression based off of that year, where you saw a little bit lesser of value for people right below. That was when Tier 4 class Catalyst Selectors were still important. And eventually, for those summoners, you got the 25% Tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Selector. And again, some of the stuff that we had seen. But instead of $30 for 6-star Nexus, it was $50, which made me kind of annoyed. But I understood that. And then you had, again, in 2021, just the 5-star rank ups. And that is leading us to what used to be the bottom barrel, which was the Cavalier Nexus. But then, look at this! You had a generic rank 2 to rank 3 6-star rank up gem. For the first time, yes, this was 2 years ago, Tier 3 Alpha, Tier 6 Basic, and still that class-based 6-star Nexus Crystal Selector. This was when 6 stars highest rank were rank 3, so a generic for $100, limit 3, was truly game-changing, unlike that Disney Plus $2 Grandmaster Nexus Crystal offer that was also a trial to Disney Plus. Remember when they used to do that? Crazy. And then, just like that, we had the new evolution, which is still today, of the Advanced Summoner Store, where you got different unit bundles. I expect this to be the same. This was correlating into a featured 6-star with 6-star 6 stones, a rank 1 to rank 2 generic rank up gem. And that takes us to last year, Cyber Week. We had a piggy bank. We had Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha for Paragon players with every offer. We had a ton of Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selectors, more Tier 5 Basic, more Tier 2 Alpha. 6-star Basic Crystal for $30, wasn't the biggest fan of that. Generic Rank Up Gem 1 to 2 for $30 was the best we'd seen. And then what about the $50 offer? Well, you see a 6-star Nexus for $50 again. That cheapest was $30 the year before, so they boosted the price of that. But generic 2 to 3, which used to be $100, was now $50. And then a fully formed Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha for $100 was literally game-changing. 2 6-star Nexus, 5 Tier 5 Class Catalyst Selectors. Last year's Cyber Week broke the game. How could you be any crazier than that, Prof? Well, it also eventually, in the best offers, had the Wish Crystals, the 2020 and 2021 Champion Selectors. You had the rank up gems from rank 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. The best deal by far ever for 10,000 units. And then you had the bonus rank 3 to rank 4 6-star rank up gem. Notice that is not a generic in terms of the normal generic. Notice that is actually a skip of the class-based crystal straight to the rank up generic gem, which they had also never done before, which broke my brain again. And then this brings us to the other offers where you can see the featured and the 6-star 6 stones, and it got really, really crazy, but not as crazy as the last progression. You can see the 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal was there. So, still pretty good offers for Throne Breakers. And then you had these in the store. You had the Fully Formed. You had 50 6-star 6 stones. You had more Fully Formed, including the rank 2 to rank 3 rank up gem and 1 to 2. Just not a lot of rank 4 opportunities outside of cash for that year, which is Kabam's normal goal. Look at all the tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic that were flooding it a year ago. So you can believe those items are still very valuable. The generic 6-star Awakening Gem has lost some value because of the side quest threat level 5. And then the 2020, 2021, and 2019 champion selectors. And then what do you know? We are now in June. This was, of course, July 4th week sales. So this is the most recent sales to compare with for the top progression level before Valiant. Of course, you have the rank 2 to rank 3, which used to be $100 last year, was now $10. You have $30 for a rank 3 to rank 4 generic rank up, which was indeed the cheapest we had ever seen that by far. That was also like $600 a year ago and was $30. Now talk about how much this has evolved. 10 regular Paragon crystals, wish those were Nexus, for $50, but you can see the 2 tier 6 basic, the 2 tier 3 alpha, the 3 tier 6 50%. All the 7-star shards are here now. 6,000 7-star shards for $100. You had the 6-star rank up gem Nexus crystal, which was also the first that we had seen of that. 2 Abyss Nexus crystal selectors, and then of course I never purchased any of these, but you had $100 for a relic crystal bundle. It's also worth noting that you had different Paragon tier bundles, which included 6-star 6 stones, tier 3 alpha, tier 6 basic, 7-star hero crystal shards, or the 6-star rank up gems, which I said was the best guaranteed value, and I would stay that course if that was this week. And then you have the greater tier 3 bundle for 7,500 units, which was the Nexus crystals and the rank up gems, or 7-star shards and tier 6 basic. So basically it's a 6-star targets or 7 stars. And then this was also the first time we had ever seen the Kabam website store get in the mix, and this was my purchase from that as well. So we just went through like 80 photos in less than 15 minutes. I know it's a much longer video than normal, but this is 3 years of holidays broken down over the course of so many screenshots, and I wanted to take my time and give a historic perspective of how much has changed even in the past year, where you had a rank 3 to rank 4 generic rank up gem for 18,000 units. That's now $30 on July 4th week sales. So we do expect to see some new things for Cyber Week, but I'm going to save my prediction video for later this week, probably about 24 hours before these offers come out. So I will see you all then, and hopefully in the other videos I post between now and then. Thank you for your support over the last 6 years. I know a lot's changed in so many people's lives, including my own, but I'm still thankful to make these videos. Thanks to y'all's support.